Hi everybody out there. I thought I'd put together a little quick motivational video. You may be thinking, if you've watched other videos on my channel, where's the comedy? Or where's the guitar playing? And I'm still all about that. But I thought it'd be great to share my journey so that maybe it can help you with your journey. And I'm hoping that with just a couple of points in this video, hopefully I don't ramble on too long, I can unite a whole lot of people together with the spirit of wanting to persevere, keep going, no matter how small or large our problems are. Generally, I have some pretty good times. And if you were to look at my resume, you'd see some signposts that to most people would indicate success. But I gotta tell you, I suffer from self-esteem issues and all kinds of different health problems. And a whole lot of that has been getting better over the past year. So I thought I might share with you why. Some of this you might just want to throw away or not even watch the rest of the video. Some of it might actually be helpful. Alright, my first bit here is a little bit of philosophy. And the question is, what are you? Well, what are you? Okay, well, I'm thinking there's three elements: mind, soul, and body. Mind is relatively easy to define. It is the entirety of your thought processes, your cognitive abilities, your ability to perceive and react. Sounds kind of like a little bit of a simple definition. You can fill in the rest and you can Google it. Whatever your philosophy will inform you. Your body? That's pretty easy. It is your physical instantiation. Each of us has a physicality of some sort. Now that physicality can be the source of great joy and horrible pain. And then there's the soul, and the soul is basically everything else that we're not really able to define. It's something that doesn't shut down when you're asleep. It's something that hopefully exists for a long, long time. It's something where hopefully we can connect with other people. I just don't know. I mean, I've been through all kinds of religious studies. I have studied widely. I have had both a narrow mind and a wide mind, and I can't figure out the soul. I do think that when the body suffers, the mind suffers. When the body and the mind suffer, the soul suffers. There are those that will extend to you salvation of the soul at the price of the body and the mind. That you must, well, hate them, become a fool, and hate the flesh. I'm not one of those guys, although I haven't always liked my own flesh. You might be in that spot too. You might be watching this because you're thinking, oh, I got terrible body image and this guy's going to give me some advice about it. And I will, because I've got it too. Pain. Pain's at the heart of my journey, really. It's at the heart of what's happened to me over the past year or so. Now, the two types of pain that I'm going to highlight are emotional pain and physical pain. Neither of them is particularly pleasant. We go through emotional pain in life a lot. We suffer from depression, like me. We suffer from anxiety, be it generalized or specific. We can suffer from compulsions that lead us to pain. Emotional pain can come from loss. I know a lot about that. Now, there's also physical pain. People will tell you to buck up about emotional pain, and there's things that you can do and things that you can't do. There's ignoring the emotional pain, which means it's going to get bottled up and it's going to bite you in the butt. Physical pain is the same thing. People can tell you to, buck up and endure and grit your teeth. But sometimes you can't. Sometimes physical pain is just going to lay you out on your back and there's nothing you can do about it. Fighting physical pain can cause emotional pain as well. The inability to challenge your physical pain can cause devastating emotional consequences and again leave you just flat out on your back. So I'm thinking at this point I've touched some nerves. I've got you on your emotional pain, I've got you on your physical pain. You're feeling me, right? We share something there. Because, let's face it, we all do. You might be dealing with a stubbed toe, you might be dealing with heel spurs, you might be dealing with cancer pain. We all know what it is. I can't imagine cancer pain. I've watched somebody go through it for 3 months and then die, but I haven't experienced it. Where did my journey start? Well, I'll float up a picture of what I looked like in August 2015. Alright, so, I mean, that's not a bad-looking guy. He's pretty average. I certainly look a little different now. So what was I going through at that point? Well, I was still suffering quite a bit of mental stress. It's partly related to fallout from a job, but way more I can blame it on the stress of losing family, um, picking up my roots and moving all the way across the world to exactly the country I wanted to be in. I was grieving, of course, because of the loss. I was overweight, and being overweight, it can affect you emotionally. If you're the type of person that's flexible enough with your self-confidence to accept and love yourself just like you are, and I do recommend trying that, you can get by with any kind of body shape, and you can really live it. I couldn't. It crushed me every time I looked in the mirror. That didn't happen where I used to live, but around here, not a whole lot of folks carry that type of body shape. And so I started to feel kind of isolated. And the fact that I couldn't buy clothes at a department store, that was pretty annoying too. Okay, so that's part of my emotional pain. I was also dealing with physical pain. And this got excruciating. There's the back. I've had lower back pain for years. And it just got worse and worse. I expect when you're carrying that kind of body mass and not a whole lot of it is supporting muscle, you're going to get some back pain. Also neck pain. Suffering from something that they diagnosed as straight neck, which means that my neck didn't have a natural bend to it. It would kind of like lean forward a whole lot. And if you look at that in profile, not good. Terrible posture. No muscle support to hold it up. Also, something you can expect if you suddenly walk a whole lot and you're carrying 100 kilograms of, well, no muscle, pain in the feet. It's called plantar fasciitis, or I prefer plantar fasciosis. Whatever you call it. It's an inflammation of the soft tissue in the sole of your foot. In my case, it was accompanied by heel spurs. And heel spurs are virtually irrelevant, but they look really scary on an x-ray. They look like they're going to poke their way out of the bottom of your foot. They won't. They're irrelevant, but they really look scary. I also had high blood pressure. Now we're talking go to the hospital high blood pressure. If I wasn't on a gigantic cocktail of drugs, I would get dizzy and have to get the boss's wife to take me to the hospital. Speaking of drugs, I was on plenty of them. 800 milligrams of ibuprofen, first dose in the morning, and sometimes I'd take sedatives, and I was on 3 different types of blood pressure medication, and a really high dose of antidepressants. Each one of those drugs, by the way, carries the side effect of fatigue and dizziness. So I was feeling pretty, fatigued and dizzy. You know what didn't help that? Mass quantities of alcohol. Now, I'm not a teetotaler. I drink. When I get home, I'll knock down 3 beers or so. Until a few months ago, actually until maybe last month, let's be honest, I'd kick back those beers and then kick back a third of a bottle of whiskey. And we're talking a 700 milliliter bottle of whiskey. That's a whole lot of calories that you don't need. And it's a whole lot of drunkenness that isn't necessarily doing you a whole lot of good. I talk about muscles a bit, right? Resting tone of your muscles can affect your posture and affect the way that your bones fit together. Low resting tone, like you get when you're drunk and passing out, not so good for your spine really, right? Okay, so how did I change all of this? Huge part of it is drive towards fitness. Now fitness, I guess, there's a few different definitions. You should be able to move around. Your body was built to move. It'd be nice to be able to move around without pain. It'd be really nice to rest without pain. And I found myself unable to do the latter. With that neck pain, I could be flat out on my back in bed and the pain's excruciating. I could want to get up and be at my desk and record some music. Pain in the neck. Excruciating. I could get up and walk, and there's the pain from the heel spurs, or, more appropriately, the irritation in the soles of my feet. Horrible, right? What do? Let's drink in the middle of the day and knock that pain out. That's not a long-term solution. It's going to get you more depressed. So I didn't do that, right? I started walking long distance. The day I made this decision, a big part of it was based on the fact that I noticed when I walked on those sore feet, that pain released endorphins. They're natural drugs inside your brain that are kind of like opiates, because your body doesn't want to feel pain, and it's got natural ways of dealing with it. If you rely on the unnatural ways, they're going to take over. Give your body a chance, and it might really do something for you. I'm not saying that works all the time. You got cancer pain, don't say no to the morphine. Go for it. Your body can't deal with that. You get sore feet, your body can deal with it. Distance walking also changed the weight distribution around my shoulders and neck so that while I was walking, the shoulder pain wasn't so bad, the neck pain wasn't so bad, even the lower back pain wasn't so bad as long as I was walking. With each step, half your body is in free fall, right? It feels fantastic. So I started distance walking. Now, I also started fasting. In general, fasting not something I recommend. If you can get fit by eating properly and adding lean muscle at the same time and doing good workouts and getting to the gym, that's the way you want to go. And I didn't go that way. I didn't have the confidence to enter a gym. I wanted to lose some weight though. So I would do distance walking on nothing but black coffee. I would eat something in the morning, maybe 70 grams of yogurt. That's about it. Plain yogurt, no sugar, no fruit. Lots of protein, calcium, good minerals. That's actually a pretty good first meal of the day, although you're missing carbs, and you want those. But I'd fuel myself on black coffee and walk a few kilometers. Started noticing results in my body. It trimmed up a little bit. Definitely noticed a few symptoms while I was walking though. Dizziness, nausea. That's pretty much related to dehydration and not having any food. You're gonna want to make friends with the feeling of being hypocaloric though if you want to lose some weight. If you're carrying some extra weight, you want to get rid of it. If you don't want to get rid of it, don't. Be the way that you are. That's fantastic. You have a self-esteem that can deal with that. It's great. You're a stronger person than me. Awesome. I couldn't deal with it, right? I needed to get slimmer, so I had to deal with that feeling that became familiar every day of, whoa, am I going to pass out here? My gut wants to digest itself. This is terrifying. I get used to it pretty quickly though. Skipping snacks. Then getting to a good dinner. A sizable dinner. Not particularly high on carbs, but high on protein. Some carbs to fuel the body's recovery. Vegetables, basically good nutrition. I was eventually able to end my addiction to cheeseburgers and French fries. They taste fantastic. There's some nutrition in them. They're not a balanced meal. I do recommend avoiding them. And if you think you're going to use them as a reward for a bunch of exercise that you did, you might start that way. But eventually your body's not even going to want that stuff. Trust me, I didn't want it. I could probably look at some pulled pork poutine right now and be able to refuse it. Don't test me. Alright, so that's how my walking started. Pain abatement was a big part of it, and trying to do something about my body image was another. It worked. In 3 or 4 months, I lost 10 kilograms. So down to 90 after 100. A little bit of impact on the pain in my feet, maybe, not too much. Some impact on my mood, impact on my neck, of course, and my back. All this time, I was also getting some medical counseling. And, oh yeah, say a month after landing here, I figured, well, I'll go get a refill for my antidepressants. No, that particular drug wasn't available here. The replacement had some horrifying side effects. I'm not going to say it directly. I just recommend watching the movie Black Dynamite. That's what this drug did to me. I didn't want to be taking that drug anymore. That's not going to do anything for my self-image. That's just awful. So I did something dangerous. I went cold turkey on antidepressants. You know how I feel about that? I feel pretty good. Not because I accomplished something. If you need to be taking those drugs, you take them. They could save your life. They did for me 20 years ago. But I took them for 20 years, and I don't need to take them anymore. They're gone, out of my system. I feel fantastic most of the time, and when I don't, I trust there's a good reason that I feel bummed, and I deal with the reason. Okay, so in addition to the pain abatement and some gains that I made in terms of being slimmer, the exercise was fun, and it helped me deal with hours of time where I wasn't working and couldn't work on my music because of the pain. I added some ab exercise routine. Now, a lot of guys and ladies will start ab exercise routines under the illusion of targeted training. I'm going to burn the fat off my belly by doing ab exercises. Yeah, I even got sucked into putting electrodes there, right? They'd kind of worked before on increasing muscle tone. Didn't work this time. Build all the muscle you want. If it's covered in fat, you're not going to have abs. They're not going to show. Building those abs is a really good idea, though. It's a fantastic idea if you've got back pain. As if you do have back pain, your posture's in trouble. Your posture may be in trouble because your abdominal muscles are not balancing out the curvature of your spine. You lose abdominal tone when you do a desk job all day. As a matter of fact, I'm sitting to do this video, and I'm not comfortable sitting because I don't sit much anymore. Thank goodness the new job I'm starting next month isn't going to involve a whole lot of sitting. If you can stand and do your job, go for it. So adding the ab exercise did increase tone. More importantly, it started to work on my posture a little bit. Does my lower back still hurt? Yeah, I still get electrotherapy for it 6 days out of the week. And I have a ketoprofen patch attached to the small of my back right now. So it's not all natural, man. I use some drugs too. It's necessary. Do what it takes to deal with the pain. Fight the pain actively and move on. Do the things you want to do. All right, so then I made a challenge to myself. I lost 10. I want to lose 10 or 15 more. How am I going to do that? I don't think it's going to happen by walking. And there's good scientific evidence for the fact that steady state cardio like that's only going to get you so far. It's not building large muscle groups in other parts of your body. You're going to want those. So I said, well, I'm going to join the gym. There's a bunch of gyms in my neighborhood. I'm going to go join one. Now, that's not typical me. If you know anything about me at all, you know, well, I'm, the linguist who was in the New York Times, and I'm the guitarist and, group guitar teacher. I'm the Camp Rockstar guy, one of several members of that awesome team. I do animations, I shoot stuff, I think a lot, I write fan fiction. Working out in a gym, that's not really typical for me. Absolutely it isn't. I did the Nerds Gym in grade 12 high school, and that's it. Well, it was Nerds and Bangers, right? You know which one I was. Okay, so go to the gym. Crazy challenge. Scary day, but I made the decision. I went for it. I committed to it. I haven't stopped. I added cardio. Lots of steady state cardio. It's a good way to burn fat. It's not, in the long run, the best exercise plan. You need to add other things, but it's a great start. Certainly helps with motivation. And I found that I could zone out, get a massive dose of endorphins. Pain abatement is fantastic in cardio. I still do it for that. Also, great improvements on my heart. That doctor I've been consulting with keeps cutting my high blood pressure medication. I haven't had blood pressure that's been anything beyond a kind of low for many months now. When I first heard about my new job, my blood pressure spiked a little bit. Yeah, it's going to happen. Then I started adding heavy weights. First, I started with relatively low weights, 3 sets of 20 reps on a comfortable weight. That's good. It's going to get it to the point where these 43-year-old joints can do something. It'll add some general muscle tone. But I started researching, reading more about bodybuilding, looking into things you can do to actually build muscle, build strength. The stronger your muscle is, the more opposing muscles tend to demand that your bones get stronger. Your bones get stronger, maybe your joints are going to work a little bit better, maybe it'll help with my posture. You know the story, it gets right back to that pain abatement. I want the pain gone. But I don't want it gone by taking drugs that are going to knock me flat on my back. I'm not going to be any more productive that way than I am now. So build the body. Fantastic side effect of pain abatement through exercise is that I feel better about my body. Yeah, I have that kind of self-esteem. If you don't, you look in the mirror and every day it's like, yeah, that's the guy. Fantastic. You're different from me. Live that way. Live strong. Be happy. That's awesome. Go for it. All right, so I added more heavy weights to my routines. More stress on the skeletal structure. More stress on the muscles, causing them to grow. We're talking finding a weight that is uncomfortable to lift, but you are still in command of it, and seeing if you can do 5 sets of 8 to 15 reps. If you're getting over 15 reps and you don't feel like hell after the last rep of each set, increase your weight. If you're getting 3 or 4 reps and you feel like hell, you might want to reduce the weight a little bit depending on the exercise that you're doing. Some exercises I find I can't get through a whole lot of reps, because of the way the gym is structured. Like, if I've booked the bench press, I don't want to be there for a whole lot of time because I know there's other guys waiting for it. So I'm going to choose a weight that I can't do 15 reps on. I can do 4 reps per set, get through my sets, feel like hell, and rebuild. Your muscles are awesome. You do a set of 15 reps. On the 15th rep, your muscles feel like they want to break, but you were still in command of that weight. Great. Wait 30 seconds to 1 minute. Other fibers have been recruited, and you can do those reps again. You exhaust yourself, you're not in command of the weight. Even after a minute, 2 minutes, you're not going to be recovered enough to lift it. So watch that. Control the weight. I'm no expert on this. Go ahead and read Arnold Schwarzenegger's Encyclopedia of Bodybuilding, or if you can find a better book, read that. Okay, so perspective on nutrition is another thing that really helps with all of this. Because once you're using your body and doing difficult things with your body, things that are challenging, it's going to change the way you feel about the stuff that you put into your body. We get emotional pleasure out of eating. We're programmed that way. Eating feels good because eating makes you survive, right? And there's a few other things that we as humans tend to do that feel unbelievably fantastic, that they're necessary for the survival of the species. You know what I mean, folks. Okay. But eating just about anything nutritious is going to give you the required degree of pleasure. You don't have to go overboard and be ultra hedonistic in the things that you eat. In fact, that's just going to be pumping unnecessary calories into your body. I'm not going to tell you that foods that you can buy at a store are poison or garbage or evil. I'm not going to do that to you, right? I'm just going to get you to ask yourself a question. What job am I doing with the fuel that this provides my body? And if it's recovery from a workout, fantastic. Okay, so you want to make sure that it's complex carbohydrates and some proteins and some vegetables and things like that. What job is it that you are going to do that requires that Twinkie? Now, those are fast calories. Okay, I understand that. You can get fast calories from complex carbohydrates too. Your body is capable of breaking them down real fast. All right, and if you're doing burst exercise, that's coming straight out of lactose in your muscles. Yeah, I'm no expert. Look it up for yourself. So the fact is, you just don't need that Twinkie. That Twinkie is for emotional pleasure. Find something else to give you the emotional pleasure. There's plenty of things to do. AKB48, right? So don't use your food for that if you can. Use it for nutrition. Treat it as fuel. Do you want your car, that's a sophisticated performance machine, going around and choosing what it eats, and so it's going to snack on like some deep fry oil, and it's going to drink a bottle of vodka instead of the high octane fuel that you spend all that money on? Nah, you don't want to do that. Well, if you're in Alberta, maybe you're thinking, I don't even want to drive a petroleum fueled car, I want to drive an electric car. Okay, that's coal fueled, right? That's where your electricity comes from in Alberta. You are running a coal-powered car. Okay, so think about your energy. We barely use our car. I walk a lot, or I take the train, which is sometimes powered by a nuclear reactor. This is not an environmental crusade video. Let me shut up about that. You don't want to fuel your car on garbage. You are a way more important, sophisticated organism than your car is. Fuel yourself on stuff that's good. Do I eat ice cream and cake sometimes, and maybe a little bit of chocolate? Yeah, I'm human, right? But the bulk of the food that I eat has got to be good. Stuff that is going to help me recover from the workout. Like sushi with lots of tuna that's going to stick to my muscles. If you're not eating animals and instead you prefer to kill plants and take their life away from them, go for it. Just remember, those plants do something that you can't do. They do photosynthesis. They get their energy from the sun and from the soil. You can't do that. It's pretty special. Respect them. Then kill them and eat them. I mentioned I started with fasting. I still have periods of the day where I wish I was going to eat and I don't. And I know that's going to change. The more lean muscle that you add to your body, the more calories you have to consume to keep them going. They're just going to demand it. You won't get fat from the calories. You're going to maintain those muscles. And as a matter of fact, if you don't eat, you're going to lose what you built in your workout. Your workout becomes an investment in your body. Well, what are you? You are mind, soul, and body. You got to remember, protect that investment. That body is there for something. Maybe it's there for your family. Maybe you're going to do everything you can to protect them. Maybe you're going to do everything you can so that if they're in trouble, you can just hop out of bed and help them, not to trip over a line of bottles of whiskey. Not that, okay, that's my personal story. Your body recovers. Your body will heal your mind. Work your body, heal your mind. I'm out of battery. Have a great one. Couple seconds of battery left. Your journey doesn't end. Keep fighting. Work towards your future. Earn your next tomorrow. Go for it. You can do it. I did. I'm no more special than you are. Work it.